Welcome all, it's Temmie from Talked and Tuned. Today we're building an RS3 Sportback sleeper. We're going to compare the stock versus tune, the quarter mile, and I'll show you the exact upgrades and tunes that I put on this machine. But before we get into anything, we'll go over some rules and I'll show the car and the appearance now. Keep it simple and clean. Rule number one, it's got to look normal. So this is what we're starting with. This is the current car. Just, pretty basic, standard, no modifications to it. It can't have no crazy aero on it. Again, we want to keep that whole sleeper look, and it needs to be fast but as well as controllable. So these aren't going to be your normal Forza fun cars that are going to go do 300 miles an hour. This will be a nice drivable car. That's, again, it's a sleeper build. It's for those that more enjoying sit back driving. So without further ado, let's get into some baseline tests. So I'll head over to the drag strip and I'll catch you there. Right, so we're back. Had a little bit of an issue there trying to sort this out, but we're in. Now, as you heard previously, the sound of it, we're going straight into the quarter mile. Check the performance out. And this is literally just bog standard car. We're shifting right now, and you can just, yeah, it's not very great. Oh wow. And there we have it. What was that speed on that quarter mile? 13.7. Right, we got on that one. Oh, I did not mean for that to happen. I just wanted to take a picture of it so we had it. But let me turn that off. Okay, so 13.759 is what we got on that. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to get over to the garage and we'll get some upgrades on this, and then we'll just sort of walk you through that. So I'll catch you guys in just a moment. In the garage now, got the car. Again, just to see what it sounds like. Okay, so we're gonna, this should already be all-wheel drive, but we're not gonna change it. It's not. Right, so yeah, it is all-wheel drive. Perfect. So we want all-wheel drive because we want the most amount of grip we can possibly get with this thing. Now let's look at the engines we've got for it. It's a standard. I do like a rally engine, but I feel like we're gonna get more top performance in the now. Yes, okay, we want to see these greens in here, guys, but we want to look at that chart mainly for the performance rather than just going with what's red or what's green. Okay, so we'll put this engine in. I think there's more we can get out of that than that smaller engine. And again, we want no air on this. That was one of the rules. We want to keep this as stock looking as possible, so I might not do certain things, guys, but these are pretty straightforward. We want all of these on race because we will be tuning this. In terms of engine, we want the most. We don't really need anything crazy in this, to be completely honest with you. We'll just go with a 6-speed. We don't really need more than that. Inside of this. So yeah, I think we've covered all bases there. Put the race clutch in it. Yeah, we did. Okay, perfect. So we've covered the clutch. Oh, sorry, the drive train. We've covered all of that, which I know I ran through this stuff kind of easy, guys. When it comes to the race, we want this car to be fast. Everything racing. It's really a no-brainer. The engine and transmission is down to yourself, but we want 6-speed just based on the fact we're going to be taking this around corners. Having anything more like a 7-speed or something, it just doesn't, there's too many gears to work with, and we still want that race transmission, so I went with the race version. And then again, these are both just race. Okay, so now we'll move on to the performance and the handling. So brakes, again, it's really a no-brainer here. We want to have race brakes on this. We want to be able to stop this car as fast as we can. Okay, you can't really tell the difference in that. I was just checking. Springs, again, we've got loads of options here, but considering we're going to be taking this on the road mainly, then again, we need the upgrade. Okay, we're going to go with this one. Pretty much anything race we want just for the upgrades. Anti-roll bar. Just gonna do I think it's worth it? We're gonna get better acceleration, a better launch, and better braking. But we're gonna lose some of the handling. That's fine because I can counter that when I come to the tuning on it. Again, we'll put both these on and we can work with that. So you see. Right, so you can see if there's a race one. So we can't put a race one on because that's pretty obvious that that's in there. which again, this is meant to be a sleeper build. So we'll go with just the, but I want the race. It's okay. We'll go with sport because you can't tell it's in there. So we'll go with the sports chassis on that. And then when it comes over to the weight reduction, pretty much as we don't want too much off. But that's not really going to... Okay, I was checking the handling mainly because you don't want too light of a car because then it'll get thrown around quite a lot. And now tyres. We do want a lot of grip here, especially since we're going to be looking for the most performance. But we will be running on the road a lot. So we'll go with some semi-slicks just because of, you know, if we go with full slicks, I just don't think that's going to work out well. So we got those ones. And which one looks more stock, really? Yeah. We're gonna go with these ones. They look way more stock. Tire size. We want as much as we can get on both of these ends. So we're gonna go for 275 and 275 because we need that grip. So essentially, the more connection we have on the road, the more tire we have on the road, the more grip we're actually gonna have. Rim style. We'll keep it standard. In the front, we will put these on. It's going to bring our acceleration down a tad. However, we will be messing around with this in the tuning anyways. So, again, it's just more we have for the handling. Can you tell the difference with that? Is that noticeable? That is not really noticeable. So we will put that on. And the rear, we're going to lose handling, so I'm not going to put that on. Okay. So we've done a lot of the main upgrades. I'm not trying to sit on these too long, guys, and explain everything just because I don't want the video to be too long-winded. If there is anything you need, just pause the video, slow it down, and then if there's any questions or specific tunes, just put them in the description. So we're getting on to the final bits in terms of the actual car upgrades. I'm on the engine now, so let's start with the turbo. Okay, we can hear that a little bit. You can definitely hear that. See, this, it's a lot quieter. So we can get a lot more power out of it. However, I don't know. Okay, I think it's quite loud. I think it's quite loud. Yeah, currently it's got no turbo on it. And we can't hear that. So I'm not going to put one on. Just again, to keep that sort of naturalness. We need the race fuel. Just because we want as much power as we can get in that. Again, the race ignition. We're going for a fast car. Most of these will just be pretty straightforward. However, in doing so, we've lost a little bit of handling. So I'm going to have to put these on for tuning sakes. Displacement. We will put a race engine block in just for that. If you look at the chart here compared to your standard, it actually gives us a little bit more higher end performance with the RPMs, and then we can see where the power and torque is between those, which it just moves it a bit higher up, so we should have a bit more to play with then. That's pretty much the car done. We've kept it pretty standard. You can't really tell there's been anything done to this car. So we'll get this all set up and then we'll head over to the tuning. It's not costing much, but I do own quite a few bits already. Well, this build shouldn't really cost that much in general to make. And if there is any sort of specific builds you want, cheaper builds for newer players, then let us know and we'll get those. But I'll head over to the tuning and then I'll show you what we're going to actually run for it. Okay, so we're over here in the tune section, and now we're going to get on with really trying to nail in on the performance of this car. Because, yeah, it's all good just doing standard upgrades, but tuning is where you're going to see your most performance. So we're going to have to test some of these on the fly, which we'll do after the build, and then I'll adjust accordingly. But we're going to go with the front PSI. We're going to put that down to 27.5. And then on the rear, we're going to go for 26.5. Now, we're doing this to maximize our grip. Now, when we get going, if all of a sudden it's spinning too much, feels a bit more like loose, not as grippy, then we will adjust this to match. So that's what we're going to start off with. 27.5 and 26.5. Now we're really trying to cut that 0 to 60 down because it's sitting at 2.5 right now after standard upgrades, which I mean, it's not bad. It's not that quick, but we can definitely improve it. So what we'll do is, yeah, we're kind of in the sweet spot for that 0 to 60. So we'll leave that for now. We'll carry on. So alignment. This again, as I mentioned, when it comes to the tuning, is quite finicky. You're having to move bits and forth, and then you've got to drive the car, then actually understand where you need to get to. With the alignment, we are going to make it so it's essentially fast. Or again, it being an all-wheel drive, we need to make sure we're matching this to that. So we're going to put this down to 1.8. And then we'll match this. I don't want to shift it too much. We'll go down to 1.2 on this one. And then on the toe, we'll move this to just really a tiny bit. We don't want to do too much with either of these, but we just want that extra bit there. So we've increased that, and then we'll go this. We'll put that right up. No, I don't want to do 5. We'll go 6.5, right? And then if it understeers, we can come back and change this, and if it oversteers again, we can come back and change this. But most of this stuff is, I guess, it's hard to explain because it's just sort of general knowledge from playing the game. Now, this isn't accurate one-to-one to real life, but we're making this best I can. This is my build. If you like something else, then again, it's a creative game. You know, you're meant to be where you want to be. So we're going to set this to 24 flat, and we're going to go 32 on the other one. Just so it's got a bit more in the rear when it comes to braking, so it should grip into the turns essentially and feel really nice. Again, I don't run ABS on this, so it's a lot more harder. But we're nearly done now. We've got we've got the springs to do, which I need to edit. But we'll get onto that in a second. Go to dampening first. And then let's go for if I look at this right, it's really front bias, obviously, compared. So we need to tidy that up a little bit. We're going to shorten this down, just the tags. I think that's quite aggressive on the front there. And then we're going to increase this so they're not too far off each other. Again, we want this car to handle really nice and adjust to sort of any bumps and anything we come across. So then we're going to go with, on here, I'm thinking I'll increase this one. If I increase that, I need to shorten this gap. So we're going to bring this down to sort of a 7.5. This build. Actually, no, we'll go to a 7. We'll go to a 7 instead of a 7.5. And that should, you know, reduce sort of the fight when we're going over the bumps, that aggressiveness, and make it sort of return to center a bit more naturally. Again, it's just more about keeping the car planted when we get to that sort of top speed. Now, again, we didn't touch any aero because it is just meant to be specific build. Now, with the brakes, again, these all depends on how comfortable you are with braking your own car. I say braking when it comes to braking. So what we will do in this situation is I'm going to set this to a 56 on the balance. Oh, wrong way, silly me. And then the brake pressure, we're going to go with 110. Just so, again, we don't want the tires locking up. So we'll have to look at reducing or increasing depending on what we get to. And then last but not least, on the differential, on the front diff, we're going to want acceleration to increase 25%. And then we want to keep this low. I'm probably not going to touch this one. We'll leave this one as is. You know, I'll increase it a little. We'll go to 7. And I'll leave it at 7. And then with the acceleration here, again, we're going to increase that to probably 72. See what the stats say now. Let's bring that down to 65%. And And then the deceleration, I will actually decrease this just because I think it's a little bit high. So we'll go down to 15%, and then we'll increase this to sort of balance it out. We'll go to 68%. That. Now, guys, I do love this RS3. I've got, I think, 2 other builds in it. So I'm in here quite often. So I know I'm just throwing numbers out there, but as you can see, if you look at the 0 to 60, we have decreased that to 2.4 now, whereas it was 2.5 something. So we've knocked off a fairly amount, to be quite honest with you. So what we'll do is we will now give it a test, see what we can't come up with, and yeah, let's see how that car feels. So let's set this up. No. Apply and save setup. We don't need to save it really. Let's just would you like to apply it now? Yeah, we'll apply, but don't need to save it. Okay. So the car is made. Let's just give it a quick little spin to see what it feels like. Okay. Feels okay. Drive wise. What I'll do is I'll load up the 0 to 60. We'll get that done, and I'll show you this around some corners, but pretty standard looking car. And then yeah, let's get the 0 to 60 done. Okay, so we're back. I think I said 0 to 60 in the other one. I meant quarter mile. So here we are now. We're gonna get this running. So the last time, just to make everyone aware, I just killed it. That was my bad. I was looking at the timer. We're gonna restart that because I killed the sort of start there. I was trying to pull up the timer on my phone. Okay, so we're looking at 13.759. That's what we've got to beat here. So we're gonna go and see if we can't beat this time. I think the car's feeling a lot faster. Okay, so we've got 13.75. What we get down to a 9. So this is so in formula terms, this is a 10-second car. So 9.1. So we shaved off a fair bit of time there. We're just doing these upgrades. Now, again, this is a smaller car. It's in the less performance, so you're not going to see anything crazy out of this. But what I'll do is I'll get over to somewhere we can drive. I'll get over to some mountains so I can show you the control of the car. And then we'll take it for a top speed run. Actually, we'll go do the top speed run first, and then I'll show you the performance and the handling of the car. So I'll catch you guys when we're there. Okay, so we're back, and here's going to be our top speed run. I know we saw the speed in the settings, but just so you guys can sort of see how the car actually handles. And again, it's for myself to test the tune that we just done. But overall, I'm feeling quite nice, quite sharp. I think there's a lot in 6th. I kind of did that to try and increase the speed, but we're going to sit at... There you go. And to be honest, right now, let's see, if I go left and right, which I'm swiggling my shifter now, the car is pretty stable. Look, we didn't lose control. So the car overall is pretty stable. We're hitting the 225. I'm redlining it right now, which is perfect. We're absolutely moving. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Wow, look at that. RS3 absolutely killing it. Okay, so we're over here on a nice little bit of straight. This should be perfect to test sort of the control of the car and, you know, its performance if you're street racing. I'm not going to talk too much, but we're going to go ahead and get this started, I guess. Here's me hitting every red line possible. But we'll go in first person to make it a bit more interesting. It's dark, so I can't really see too great. But... Oh, beep beep. Right, that's my bad. That's my bad. But I guess we'll go this way. You know what? I can't really see too great because it's darkness, so we'll keep it out for now. Okay, so we're really just trying to test the overall performance of the car in a whole, just to see if it's really up there. Let's see if we can't get this guy to race us. Alright, he's pouring. Okay, we'll ignore that. Let's just carry on with this. He doesn't want to race. What a wuss. This guy will race. Yeah, this guy will race. I guess we're just gonna go like this. Get him on the inside. Oi! Look, I knew he was going to overshoot that turn. You know what? I'm not the greatest driver. So this is probably not a good performance, me showing you this car driving. But look at that, it is just sticking. Yeah, to be honest, the car's quite stuck. Like, I'm trying to turn it here and it's just... Look. Wow, beautiful. This is exactly what you want, performance-wise, really. Okay, that's my bad. I literally didn't brake there. But yeah, overall, this car's pretty nice. I'm going to give this a solid 7.9 out of 10 on the sleeper build scale. But what do you guys think of the build? Is this something you'll be rocking? Anything I could have changed to make this better, please let me know. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.